We talked about it earlier in the week. There is an unbelievably cool local sports story that is playing out. And tomorrow in D.C., the United Bowl pits the D.C. Defenders against the Louisville Kings. And for those that don't know, the coaching staff of the Louisville team is basically entirely members of the Ravens Super Bowl 35 title team. It's so cool how these guys have all ended up together. And it's Chris Redman as head coach, and Jamie Sharper, and Brad Jackson, and Tony Banks. And joining us now, one of the greatest cornerbacks in Baltimore Ravens history. He is Chris McAlister, and he is with us once again here on GCR. C-Mac, it's Glenn. It's great to chat with you. Coach C-Mac, that is. Appreciate you taking the time for us.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
How you been?
I've been great, man. How are you guys doing, right? Like, this is awesome. How cool is this?
Yeah. You know what? It is so funny that all this is happening, and I think it's all kind of, it's kind of how you put things out in the universe, and it all comes right back to you. And it was kind of meant to be because we had our Super Bowl reunion this year.
Yeah.
And ironically enough, we were all sitting around talking, and some of us were in coaching, some of us were looking to get into scouting, some were already in these different areas. And next thing you know, a month later, Redman calls and rallies up the troops and says, "Hey guys, you guys want to go get this done?" So here we are,
dude. This
it's pretty awesome.
When he called, did you know how many guys were involved? Like, were you aware of what was happening? Had you all talked to each other at all, or like how did it happen that you just all ended up doing this together?
Well, at the time, I only knew, like, Brad had called me and asked if I wanted to do it, and then Chris and Brad called me back on a three-way, like, the next day, and we all talked. And at that point, I knew it was us three, and then the other pieces were being put together. So it happened pretty fast, It's like because the season was coming up on us starting in February, and Chris Redman was doing his job getting the rest of the staff together. And we didn't know who those pieces were, but fortunately for us, for all of us as a group in a whole, it's like it's all working out.
Man, like I know that if you were experiencing success doing anything, it would be cool, right? Like I recognize that, but how much more has it meant to you to get to do this with these guys? Like that you literally won a Super Bowl with. Like how, to me, and I have nothing to do with your team, it's incredibly special. How special has it been for you?
I think it's special in a lot of ways. It's like because we share that same connective tissue from our Super Bowl years.
Yeah.
And we'll be bonded forever through that experience in our NFL playing careers. And then we get together here as coaches. It's like we bring that same passion, the same energy. It's like we still, as competitors through and through, it's like we understood what it took as a team to get it done. It was going to take all the pieces moving as one. And that's what we've been able to accomplish here. It started off as 0-3. And 1/3 of the season has gotten, you look up and you're just scratching your head saying, gosh, I was like, I know we're better than this, but how do we get ourselves into this hole? But you never stop believing. And we just keep fighting, keep pushing forward. And when the guys buy in, it's like the players bought into the whole thing. It takes everyone to be a part of it. And it's like, it's so great to have this experience to be back. Honestly, me and Brad were talking the other day. It was like, gosh, we're in the Super Bowl. Like, we're not in the Super Bowl technically, but we're in the UFL Bowl. It's like, guys, how did this happen? Like, how did we get back here? Like, this feels so unreal, but it's a great experience.
Now I have to ask the question because you referenced that. I was thinking about like stories from when you were in the Super Bowl. You didn't put anybody like in charge of, hey, how do we keep these guys entertained and not getting distracted the way that like Tony Siragusa did once upon a time, did you?
No, we're just gonna, these guys have been professionals, and the whole way, but we're not going to be there for a whole week.
That's
either,
a good point
okay?
too. That is a good point. It's not a week in Tampa. It's not a week in Tampa.
It's not a whole week in Tampa.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different than what life was back in the day.
Yeah.
Chris McAlister with us here on GCR. Chris, I want to talk about you, then I want to talk about the team, right? Like for you, this place, right? You've been doing some coaching. Tell me about going down that path, why it was something that you wanted to do, and what it's meant for you to be a part of this and finding this success.
Well, this started a couple years back before COVID. I'd done a couple internships, 3 internships, and then I coached at high school a little bit, volunteered rather. It's like, and then I started coaching, interning in the NFL. and I was starting to hit my rhythm. It's like number one, football is me through and through. I love it. I always love it. I always watch it, and watching it unfold is like just. I mean, watching the seasons go by and go by just made me want to get more involved. So when I started off in high school, is where I kind of dipped my toe back in the water per se. It's like, and then I got the internships in the NFL, which COVID hit, which stopped my
Momentum.
which
Yeah.
which stopped my momentum. So then I just kind of take couple steps back and enjoyed being retired. And I realized like, wait a minute, I don't want to be retired. It's like I want to be involved in football. So I reached out to some friends and got back, uh, and got that itch and that energy back to go do it after 4 years going by. And I was on my path to try to seek out another internship as well. Um, I'll just put it in the air. Started off talking to the Ravens. Hopefully, the Ravens bring me back to intern this year. Hint, hint.
Mm.
And then I
I'm
ended
in
up getting this
favor.
coaching job. Yeah, before the internship, I ended up getting this coaching opportunity with Coach Redman. So this kind of got the ball rolling. It's like I like to continue things and like to see where this path takes me
Did,
because I really enjoy more than anything being able to see something on paper and then or the kids now they see it on their tablet. We talk about it and it goes from the classroom to the practice field, from the practice field to the game film, and you're like, wow. It's like watching them succeed, the joy of watching them execute and succeed brings me a lot of happiness. It's like I feel like I can still contribute and give back to the kids who are playing the game now what the game gave me before.
Man, I love that. I love everything about that. That sounds so good to me, dude. Did you always know that was in you? Like I hope I'm not saying that. Like I think a lot of people remember your personality and like somebody would say I don't know that I would have seen Chris McAlister as being a coach. Did you always know that, or did it hit you at some
Well,
point?
I always knew that I wanted to coach, and I
Okay.
knew it was going to be hard. It's like it wasn't right away. It was sitting, honestly, watching football and asking questions like, why are they doing this?
Hmm.
Why is he doing that? Why? Like more questions than answers. I'm like, what was that guy thinking about? And it said, why don't you just give it a try? I never knew like, oh, coaching is going to be my next step. Like right after football was over, it took me a while of watching football to like maybe I can give back to the game with the game, some knowledge to the players who are playing from the guys that I learned it from. Like I learned from the great Rod Woodson and played with Deion Sanders as well,
Yeah.
and they've given me so much. Not to mention, the guys on my team, Ray Lewis and Ed Reed
I
and
hear they're good.
all of those guys. It's like so the knowledge that I've gained by working with them is something that's never going to go away. And so why not give it back to someone else?
Chris, I've made it very clear and loud, and you and I have talked about it before. It bothers the hell out of me that you're not in the Ravens Ring of Honor. I hope that changes at some point because you're incredibly deserving of it. But can you tell me about your relationship with the Ravens? Because I do remember like worrying, the way that it ended, if that was gonna be. But we saw you back really quickly. It didn't take long for you to be back and doing events and around the team. Like,
The crazy thing is, it's like everything comes to an end. It's no big deal. It's like me and the Ravens have been in a great place for a long time. It's one of those things. I don't know how the process works. It's like it is what it is. It's gonna work itself out. I mean, I believe maybe one day in the future, it's like things will work themselves out, and I will, be honored enough to, be lucky enough to be in the Ring of Honor. But if not, you know, it's like I won't say it won't happen. I'll just say when it is gonna
I
happen at some
appreciate that.
point. Hopefully,
I
you
no,
gotta throw positive vibes out there.
we
Positive
agree.
vibes.
Hopefully that will happen because it is
Yeah,
well deserved. There is no question about that.
yeah. I've already been up to training camp this year. It's
That's
like and
awesome.
watched them out at one of their rookie mini camps. It's like I'll continue to come out and support the Ravens, um, as long as they continue to have me, which they have. It's like they've always welcomed me back with open arms. So it's pretty awesome.
I love that. I love that. Tell me about this team. Tell me about your group. You mentioned the 0-3 start, right? Like how did you
Ah,
guys go from
yeah.
that to now being one win away from being champion?
Well, honestly, it's crazy. We were sitting there after the first game. All of them were close. We were in all of the games and felt like we could have won at least two out of the three. And at the time, we kept telling, at that moment, we looked at the next week, like, don't look up at the schedule. Don't look and see, in the standings. Don't look where we're at. Look at the team that's in front of you. Brad did a great job of preaching and getting us started down this path of just being 1-0 this week. and everybody bought into the mantra of being 1-0 this week. And next thing you know, we won 6 out of 7 games, and we're right back in the, and we're right back in the hunt. And it was the players buying in. Once they got the first victory, we went from 0-3 to 1-0. The energy level changed. It's like the belief of all the hard work that they have been putting in all this time, because they just came through a 5-week camp and then lost 3 straight weeks. So for 2 months, it's been like grueling football, and then no results. It's like, so finally they got the results that they were looking for, the results of winning, which always is a way to fuel the fire to any competitor. And once they tasted it, these guys just were relentless. It's like we practiced harder than we they practice harder than they anticipated practice, because UFL has strict, football's gotten a lot different since when we played.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
tell you
not
that.
exactly like the 2000 group.
So
Yeah.
it's not like you're going out there twice a day, and it's like we're trying to get, and us being a new coaching staff, it's like we listen to them, and it's like we just kept pushing forward, and they kept believing. It's like, and I think it's due to the players. I mean, the staff here is incredible. I love them, and I'm biased because I,
They're
grew
your
up with most of
guys,
these guys.
right?
But also, it's the way that I believe, as being former players, that we're able to connect with our current players, and have those conversations about why they need to be in certain positions in cover 4, cover 3, cover 2. Why just worried about watering your grass is the most important thing. Don't worry about where your teammate fits or if you saw an extra play. It's like being able to communicate the importance of everyone being on the same page and operating as one system has, in my estimation, has led us to a point where the whole team is starting to work as one. Offense is feeding the ball. Offense is doing their job on their side. Defense, we're getting stops, we're timely takeovers, and special teams is playing rock solid. So it's kind of a combination of the way our Ravens team was built is how this team started operating in the beginning. It was more defense keeping us in. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, our offense came on strong, and our offense started putting up big points. And now we're just hitting our stride. It's like, and we had this conversation, Brad and I, and the rest of the guys. It's like, it's kind of like we just went through OTAs, training camp, and the preseason, and now we're starting our regular season. But for us, the playoffs started right in our regular season, and we're hitting our stride at the right time. It's like, so we kind of feel like we've been ramping up for this, like the whole way here,
I wanted to ask about one of your guys, because he did actually spend some time in Ravens training camp a couple years ago, and that's Corey Mayfield Jr. The way he's played, I started to think maybe the Ravens should try to give him a call back, or like bring him back to training camp this year. But tell me a little bit about him and why he's been able to find so much success in the UFL.
I think it may be from his time that he spent in the NFL, and I know that he was there in Baltimore. But the kid is hungry, It's like, and he works, and he's a true professional. It's like, and when he comes to practice, he practices. He practices hard. He listens to coaching. He's a great kid, and over the course of the year, he did nothing but improve. And we watched him in mini camp. He probably lost 10 or 15 pounds, like from the beginning of the season to now, and he's like leaned out, and he's just a kid that enjoys playing football. He works hard. There's not really anything that I could say about him that's bad, because there's nothing there.
That's cool, man. That's cool. That's a
you know
coach's dream, right?
Huh?
It's a coach's dream, right?
What was that? It is. It's like, now trust me, my room has paid me back in karma, in other ways. We'll talk about that later. I wasn't always a saint, so let's just be honest about it.
I kind of alluded to it. I just said personality. That was the only word that I chose to use.
I'm just saying, we have some guys that reminded me of me, and then some. I was like, hold on, what are we doing? I was like, my first time coaching, seriously? It's like, and I get a group of guys that want to put me through the ringer, stretch me out every day. I'm picking up my phone, calling them, like, what's going on? You okay?
That's so great, man. That is so great. I love everything about that, dude. Tomorrow, down in D.C., the United Bowl, D.C. Defenders, Louisville Kings, and again, that Louisville team, that's the team. I know geographically Baltimore's not far from D.C., but listen to me. Like, these are the guys that you love and that gave us a miracle championship 26 years ago. Support them as they go for a title tomorrow. Chris McAlister, brother, I'm so happy for you. I really do think this is one of the coolest stories that you all end up together doing this. I think this is really special, and I'll be rooting like hell for you, and then hopefully seeing you back here in Baltimore pretty shortly after that. That's what I hope it plays out the next few months. Thank you for doing this, man. Best of luck. All right.
Hey, thank you. 1-0, baby. Let's go.